Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel where I like to make, create, and inspire fun art things with you. Today I have these amazing spring/Easter DIYs that I'm so excited to share with you. They were super easy to do, very creative, and it brings such a high-end look to your decor. So if you want to come along with me and see what I create, just keep on watching and let's art today. Moving into our first DIY, I found this really large wooden craft piece at Dollar Tree. It was $3 and I thought it was such a good price for the size of it. It just says Easter craft, but I believe it's supposed to be a tic-tac-toe Easter game, and I thought it was adorable. The first thing I did was take off the plastic. Now each piece has 5 pieces of the eggs and bunnies, and I thought that was such a good deal. Also, you get so many little pieces, and not only can you use this for the game, you can use it for other DIYs, and I thought that was so awesome. But I'm going to use it for the game. I'm going to paint this whole back wooden piece in this orange color using my basic acrylic paint. Now I did dilute it with some white acrylic paint to make it a little lighter, but I noticed that it was coming out a peachy color, so then I went back in with the regular orange and covered the whole back piece. And as you can see here, it is completely painted except for the little squares in the center, because I want to cover it with this over the rainbow scrapbooking paper. Now I purchased this at Michael's. It was originally $19 and I got it on clearance for $5, and I love this paper from Michael's. It's a very heavy duty thick cardstock paper, and it comes with many designs and patterns, and I'm going to use this sprinkle like type of paper that you see here. I'm going to cut it down to size and then I will glue it into place. So I'm just trying to figure out what the best size of the paper is going to fit in there, and I'm going to cut all those squares out. Now that I have all my little squares cut out, I'm just going to glue it into place using this Gorilla Glue stick. It does say it's for kids, but this stuff really does work really well. I'm just placing it all over the back of the paper, and then I'm going to place it into the square, push down firmly until the whole thing is filled up. And here's what the little box looks like. I think it's so pretty and festive. Time to decorate some of those pieces. I'm first decorating the little bunnies, and I'm using some folk art home decor chalk paint in the color just white, and I'm giving everything a base coat. After the paint has completely dried, I'm going in with a Posca paint marker in the color black, and I'm just adding some stitching all around the brim of the bunny's silhouette, and then I will go in and add a little nose. Now later on I do add a little bit more detail to this side, but for right now I just stayed with this simple design and I thought it was so adorable. After the first side has completely dried, I also wanted to decorate the back side of the bunny as well, but give it a little bit more character and color. So I'm first going in with this light pink colored acrylic paint, and I'm filling in the little ears of the bunny. I then take that same pink acrylic paint and I'm filling in each bunny's little nose. I'm making a little heart and then filling it in. Then to give the bunnies a little bit more detail, I'm taking that black Posca paint pen and I'm adding little mouths and whiskers to each of the bunnies. And lastly, for this side of the bunny, I'm just adding little eyeballs to each one just to give him a finished look, and I just think they came out so adorable. Moving on to the next game pieces, which are these little eggs, which are so adorable. I already gave them a first coat of white chalk paint, and next I wanted to use this light pink and turquoise color, which are so pretty. But I was trying to make an ombre effect with them using the pink on top and the blue on the bottom and then blending it in. But when I put it up to the back baseboard of the game itself, it did not look good to me, so I changed the color completely, which is this light green color, and I just absolutely love it, and it looks better to me on the game piece. Let me know in the comments below if you rather would have put the pink and blue or the green. And 2 coats of green paint later, here is how the eggs turned out on that side. Now I'm going to paint the back side a different color just to give this game a little bit more interest, and I mixed up some brown paint with some Mod Podge. Now the original plan was to mix it with glossy Mod Podge so it looked like a glossy chocolate egg, but I didn't read the bottle of my Mod Podge and it was actually a matte finish, so it turned out like a muted chocolate, but I still love it anyways. And here's how this bunny tic-tac-toe game turned out. I absolutely love it. I love all the little details I put into it. And yes, I did add a little face to the stitching side of the bunnies. Let me know what you think about this little tic-tac-toe game in the comments section below. I just loved how it turned out and it's super cute. Jumping into DIY number 2, I want to make a shadow box decor piece for my decor, and I will be using some of this Dollar Tree ornaments from the Dollar Tree, obviously, and I thought I was going to use both packages, but I'm just using these wooden bunny cutouts. I think this year I'm going to use a bunch of bunnies for my decor. I also wanted to incorporate over this rainbow scrapbooking paper once again because I just think it's so perfect for the Easter season, and I picked out this page for it and I think it's perfect. All I'm doing is removing the back piece from the shadow box itself. I'm going to trace out the appropriate size and then cut it out. Now that the piece of scrapbooking paper is cut out, all I'm doing is using that Gorilla Glue again, adding it to the back of the piece of paper and then putting it back on the back of the shadow box. And I just think this piece of paper pops out this project so well. For the bunnies, I picked out 9 of them, and then I'm going in with my sheepskin chalk paint and I'm painting all 8 of them using that sheepskin color. And then for the 9th bunny, I'm going in with a Java brown, wiping it off so that it looks like a natural wood color. Here are all the bunnies completely painted and dried, and I think they came out so pretty. I just love these little cutouts that Dollar Tree gives us each year. I think they're adorable and you could do so many projects with them. Now I'm just going to place the bunnies inside of the shadow box, going into this direction first, and then I switch up the direction on the second column so that it gives the piece more interest. After I got where I want all the bunnies to go, I then am just going to hot glue them in place using hot glue. The last thing to do is just put the backing onto the shadow box itself, pop it into place, and that completes DIY number 2. Loved how this piece turned out. It's so neutral, but it still brings a pop of color to my home decor, and I really love it. It looks so high-end, and I believe if you would buy this at a store, they would charge you 3 times as much as if you would to make it yourself, and it came out so lovely. Let me know what you think in the comments section down below. Spinning into DIYs number 3 and 4, I am using this bunny and egg wooden cutout that Dollar Tree carries, I believe, every year. I think they change up the bunny, but they do carry the egg every Easter season. I purchased these, I believe, 2 years ago, and I'm finally getting around to using them. The first thing I'm doing with the egg is removing that jute twine at the top. Then I'm taking some masking tape and I'm going to place it in the center of the egg and push it down firmly. I do want to mention I did sand each of these wooden pieces off camera before dealing with them. Next, I'm taking some wood filler and filling up that little hole at the top of the egg. Now it's time to stain my egg. I'm using this Rust-Oleum wood stain in dark walnut, and I will be staining the egg on the bottom of the taped area. I first go in with a sponge brush. I add a decent amount of the stain onto the egg. Then I'm taking a leftover piece of a rag and wiping it off so that we could get that natural wood grain on the egg itself. And I continue this until the whole bottom edge of the egg is covered and to my liking. After the stain has completely dried, I'm just going to remove the tape so that we can prepare it for painting. Now the stain did bleed underneath the tape part, but I'm not too worried about it. I'm just going to put the tape back on over the stain part so that we can start painting. The paint I'm using is this vintage mustard yellow that I will add 2 coats to the top of the egg. After the paint has completely dried, after the second coat, I'm just removing the tape and look how crisp that line is. Now I normally paint the back of my projects, but for this DIY, I'm just going to leave it its natural color until I figure out what I want to do with the back. Moving forward, we are going to decorate this egg. I found this galvanized spring word in my collection, and I want to give it 2 coats of white chalk paint just to brighten it up a bit. After the paint has completely dried, I'm going in with my Posca paint marker and I'm outlining the word itself. I'm not going to be neat at all. I kind of want it sloppy just to give it more interest. Next, I will hot glue it down onto the egg in the center, making sure that it follows that slant I made with the tape. And lastly, for this DIY project, I wanted to add some more floral and greenery to this sign. So I have this floral that I had for a couple years that Dollar Tree carried, and I'm just hot gluing it to the outer edges of the word, and then I'm adding some leaves to it. I did use a big leaf on one side, and then I cut down a leaf to make smaller leaves on the opposite side. Once again, I absolutely love this DIY. I think it's so gorgeous. It brings such a pop of color with the natural colors of the wood grain and the greenery of the florals. It's just so beautiful. Let me know if this one was your favorite DIY of all the DIYs today. I would love to know. And for our final DIY, I will use this bunny. Now it's kind of the same technique that I used for the egg. I'm just placing the tape on a slant, pressing it down firmly so that I can get it ready for staining. For the bunny, I'm using the same stain that I used earlier in a dark walnut color. I'm adding the stain to the bunny and wiping the excess off, leaving that natural wood color on the top of the bunny. After the stain has completely dried, I'm using this Lilac Home Decor chalk paint for the bottom of the bunny, and I paint it all over the bottom, giving it 2 coats of that lilac color. After the paint has completely dried, here's what the bunny looks like, and once again I absolutely love this look. The last step for this DIY, I'm just adding a jute bow to the center of the bunny, leaving the tails pretty long so it gives it more character. Once again, here's how the bunny turned out. I absolutely love it. I love that lilac color. It brings such a pop of color to my home decor for this spring season. Let me know if this one was your favorite DIY of all the DIYs that I've done today. And finally, here is a overall look at all the DIYs that I've done today. I have to mention again, I absolutely love every one that I created today. They are all my favorite, but I would love to know which one was your favorite down in the comment section below. I love to see which one that everyone picks because everyone has a different opinion and it's so awesome to see. If you are new here and you love DIYs and creativity and all things artistic, I would love for you to stick around by hitting that subscribe button. All you have to do is click the bell notification so that YouTube can always notify you when I upload new content, and I would love for you to be part of my virtual art family. Thank you everyone for sticking around and watching today's video. I'm so excited for the spring DIYs to come, and I will see you in the next one.